Kevin Smith is the director and writer behind Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, and a bunch of movies from the early 90s.
And I remember one time in his
He also has a motivational story. He started from nothing, funded his movies himself with no connections to the film industry, and eventually turned from filmmaker to podcaster before jumping into indie film again. In this video, I want to break down 3 lessons from his life, pulled from interviews with him, and inspired by his book, Tough Shit. Warning, there's going to be a lot of language in this video, so turn it off if that's not your thing. After this video, hopefully you feel inspired and ready to start your own thing. Or continued inspiration if you're already running your own thing. I'm Alex Berman from Experiment 27. Kevin Smith's first rule is go into debt as long as you bet on yourself.
But I was playing to her. I was trying to make a connection. HuffPost Live, as
All right,
they say.
so you've done it. Camera one, go for it.
Don't go to people for money, man. You don't need that much money, unless you're making some kind of underwater epic. You don't need to go to somebody else. There are no more gatekeepers. I mean, there are if you want their money, by all means, but then you got to take their notes and stuff. But you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you, yes, you may proceed. You don't have to go out there with your hand held out and whatnot. Of course, there's like Indiegogo, Kickstarter, you can raise a budget that way. And you're essentially not begging for money, you're pre-selling all your DVDs and whatnot in advance to help you finance your dream. But don't get that thinking, kind of incorrect thinking out of your head, man. You don't have to wait or ask somebody or approach a financier. I did it on credit cards, a bunch of credit cards that I'd kind of put together. I always feel like...
Suze Orman is dying somewhere.
Right? She's sitting there going, I said I was starting my first film. But it's weird. She goes, I'm starting my first film, but I need money. I'm like, well, then you're not starting your first film. Or you can start your first film without needing that money at all. Some people get blocked. Everyone gets like a really good idea of like, I want to do something. Sometimes you sit around, watch a movie, listen to podcasts. You're like, I want to do that. Then they stop because like, I don't know how, I don't have the money. Money is a hurdle that's kind of easy to get over, particularly in an age of technology where this magical box right here are the ones we have in our pockets. We'll shoot a movie, you can edit a movie, you can upload it to YouTube, all from the same device, all within like an hour or something like that.
After the success of Clerks, Kevin Smith went through a bunch of different studio films. Zack and Miri Make a Porno, Cop Out, and other films with large Hollywood budgets. He says his goal was to make a $100 million film, but he dropped all of that to go and make the type of movies he wanted to make. Kevin Smith's rule number 2 is once you make it, optimize for happiness.
And I realized she pushed me towards Tusk because when you marry a director, it's kind of sexy because it's like there's movies and money and movie stars and you're flying places and shit. When you're married to a fucking podcaster, you know, which is what I became by choice. I was like, I'm done directing. I'm a podcaster now. The glamour is not the same anymore. Because suddenly you're like, I'm going to wear my pajamas, smoke some weed, talk to Scott about Batman for 3 hours. See you later, man. You know, and fucking go, and that's that. So when I was like, I want to make a movie, she's like, all right, even if it's this fucking movie, go ahead. So her encouragement, she said the amazing thing. She's like, I said, where do you think we'll get the money? She goes, why don't you put up the house? I said, fucking really? I said, I would love that, but we shared a house together because we're married and
you did?
shit. So close, so fucking close. It was my only regret about Tusk because I'd never had a chance to gamble on myself since the first movie. Like after the first movie got picked up, I got lucky. Somebody else started paying for my art. But here I was, this weird crossroads where I hadn't made a movie in 3 years. I'm like, fuck, man, I get a chance to literally go back to the starting point, man. Right. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I could fucking go back and take the other fucking road. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll bet on myself. It worked one time before, man. It's got to work with a walrus, right?
The other thing Kevin Smith's really good at is marketing stunts to help his movies get funded. One of the ways he's been launching his indie movies recently is touring around the country and selling tickets to live shows. And doing this, he's been able to score some of the highest revenue per showing numbers in the entire film industry, including selling out Carnegie Hall. Kevin Smith's rule number 3 is go for cheap press over ad spend. One of his biggest P.T. Barnum-like stunts was auctioning his movie Red State to the highest bidder in a fake auction at Sundance Film Festival. Saying he was going to auction it before the film festival caused a lot of buzz and filled the room with some of the top people in the film industry. And then this happened at the auction.
And John has definitely taken care of all the fucking business aspects of the movie, so if we're going to do an auction, John should really conduct it, because in my heart of hearts, I don't want to fucking sell the movie to somebody who's just going to pour money on top of it, but this is a business that we're in. There's no avoiding it. John's going to conduct the auction, open up the floor right now. It's going to be very simple, very fucking civil, and we're going to see what this movie's worth. John?
hereby opening up the bidding on Red State.
I bid $20.
Sold to Kevin Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, I came here 17 years ago. All I wanted to do was sell my movie. And I can't think of anything fucking worse 17 years later than selling our movies to people that just don't fucking get it. And their most creative fucking endeavors like, well, let's just spend money on it. I'm sure that'll work.
By buying the film himself, Kevin Smith created a bunch more news after the initial news story and ended up creating a bunch of free press for the movie to the point where he ended up profiting on the movie. Thanks for watching the video. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content, want to encourage it. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos, and check out experiment27.co if you need marketing support for your digital agency. I'm Alex Berman. Thanks.